Good evening. Good evening. My name is Alan Madden, Gadigal Elder. For my first song, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to country is always an honour and a pleasure for me. Just to give you a little bit of an insight of where you are and who we are. And the winners are... Born and bred in Redfern, capital of Sydney. Aboriginal black, Redfern, follow Manly. Not true. Rabbitohs. I love ya. Married man, 10 children, 26 grandchildren, 17 great-great. Yes, we did have TV. As with all welcomes, firstly I'd like to acknowledge our First Nations and traditional owners of the lands that you may have come from or work upon, and pay my respects. To all our Aboriginal elders, all elders, past and present, also pay my respects. To all our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters, from whatever Aboriginal or island nation you may have come from, welcome to Gadigal. And to all our non-Indigenous brothers and sisters here this evening, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. No matter where you've come from, whether it be across the seas, across the state, or across town, once again, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. And as I've mentioned many times before, was, is, and always will be Aboriginal land. Only three things shorter than that: coming, taxation and going. It's an honour and pleasure to be here this evening to welcome one and all to Gadigal. Gadigal is one of 29 clans of the Eora Nation. The Eora Nation is bounded by nature's own, the Hawkesbury River to the north, the Peene to the west, and Georges River to the south. And in between those three mighty rivers is the Eora Nation. And in that nation, there are 29 clans. And the clan's land we're on this evening is Gadigal. On behalf of Creative Australia and of the Gadigal mob, once again, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. There's an old Aboriginal saying out there I think it's very appropriate for you mob here this evening. They say, where there's a will, there's relatives. And as you travel across these traditional lands and waters, may the spirits of our ancestors guide, look over you, and keep you safe. So once again, on behalf of Creative Australia and of the Gadigal mob, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, thank you, Uncle Alan Madden, for welcoming us to beautiful Gadigal country. Thank you also to Matt Doyle and Clarence Slockey for the cultural didgeridoo cleansing ceremony. The sound of the didgeridoo does evoke our old people, all those who have gone before, and speaks to all those who have yet to come. And having this wonderful instrument call our ancestors is such an honour and a privilege. Being welcomed to this remarkable land by Uncle is also a great privilege. My name is Francesca Cabillo. I am a Yanyuwa, Larrakia, Bardi and Waddaman woman from the top end regions of Australia, and I have the great honour of being the Executive Director First Nations, arts and culture at Creative Australia. I would like to pay my respects to the Gadigal people, the traditional custodians and elders of this land which we are meeting here today, for the generosity with which we are welcomed onto their land and the grace in which you undertake your responsibilities as custodians in caring for this remarkable country. I would also like to acknowledge all First Nation elders and community here from all nations that you have come from. We are so glad that you are here with us to acknowledge and celebrate our 2024 First Nation Arts and Culture Award recipients. I acknowledge and thank the distinguished parliamentarians for joining us today, the Honourable Tony Burke, Federal Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations, and Minister for the Arts, who has held a long and genuine passion for the arts sector and commitment to champion Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander arts and cultures. I'd like to thank and acknowledge in attendance tonight Creative Australia board members, Deputy Chair Wesley Enoch and Philip Watkins, and Creative Australia's First Nations Arts and Cultural Strategy Panel Chair, Distinguished Professor Larissa Berendt, and other strategy panel members here as well. We are very fortunate to have Wesley and Larissa as our wonderful MCs tonight. But importantly, and this is what we are all here to do, I wanted to acknowledge all the First Nations communities, our exceptional artists, our elders, our ambassadors, our advocates, our First Nation creatives, who have come from near and far to celebrate at tonight's First Nations Arts and Cultural Awards. Welcome, everyone. Tonight is a celebration and recognition of the remarkable achievements and promise of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander creatives. It is a moment to celebrate excellence, to recognise the many artists and the ways in which they arrive at these important places of leadership in the arts sector. It is an important moment to recognise outstanding contributions to our arts and culture, to telling new and untold stories, to generating innovative, creative practice, and to protecting our traditional knowledges. It is on this day each year that these awards bring us together from around this beautiful country. May 27th is a significant date for First Nations people. It is the 57th anniversary of the 1967 referendum and marks the start of National Reconciliation Week. And it is an opportunity for all Australians to recognise the importance of First Nations people's self-determination, cultural authority, and remarkable leadership. Creative Australia, previously the Australia Council for the Arts, has a long-standing commitment to First Nations art and culture and its First Nations people. And these awards signal our fundamental and ongoing commitment to First Nations people. Recently, we have been experiencing a significant momentum in First Nations arts and culture. Gamilaroi and Bigambul artist Archie Moore has, of course, just made history as the first Australian to win the Golden Lion at the Venice Biennale for his profound work, Kith and Kin. His remarkable work is a work that will stand the test of time. It is tracing his family lineage, our First Nations family lineage, back some 2,400 generations. Archie has done not only himself, his family, his community proud, but he has done us as Australians. His work will stand. It will stand in Venice at this point, and it will come to Australia. And I know you will all welcome Archie and the remarkable work, Kith and Kin, when it returns. And just next week, an impressive First Nations delegation of artists and cultural practitioners will travel to Hawaii to the 2024 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture. The delegates will showcase the richness and diversity of First Nations arts and cultural practice at this important global gathering. Looking forward, we have many significant moments on our horizon. After substantial consultation with the sector, we will launch the First Nations-led board at Creative Australia. The First Nations-led board is a commitment from the National Cultural Policy Revive, which recognises and respects the crucial place of First Nations people and their ancestral stories that form the centrality of Australia's arts and culture. Building on 50 years of legacy and investment, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Arts Board, the First Nations Arts and Culture Strategy Panel, and the First Nations-led board will ensure First Nations self-determination and creative autonomy for our arts and culture is maintained and upheld. It is truly an exciting time for our communities and our creatives. However, we are here tonight for a very important celebration. We are celebrating the outstanding achievements of our award recipients, and we have an exceptional evening planned. Thank you to the Australian Chamber Orchestra for hosting our First Nation Arts and Cultural Awards, and the Fresh Collective for catering tonight's event. To the performers and recipients tonight for sharing their stories and work with us, we say thank you. And thank you also to Ernabella Arts, whose artists from Pukacha community created the beautiful awards tonight for our prestigious awards ceremony. Now, enough from me. It's time to celebrate. And although he couldn't be here with us tonight, as Parliament is sitting, the Minister for the Arts, the Honourable Tony Burke, has sent a little message for us. Thank you.
G'day, it's Tony Burke, the Arts Minister. Really wish I could be with you, I can't, and so I'm recording this message now from Naarm and acknowledging traditional custodians, elders, ancestors, and all storytellers who are telling stories from a tradition that goes all the way back to the first sunrise. When we brought out Australia's Cultural Policy Revive, the first pillar very deliberately was First Nations first. And that was to give the sense that not only is there a priority for your work, for your practice, but also everything that is possible and uniquely and distinctively Australian is possible because of your work and your practice. And so that's why it wasn't put aside as some First Nations only cultural policy, but if you want to understand Australia's cultural policy, the first principle is always First Nations. It's really important the awards that you gathered there. And I know everybody who's there's not a single one of you who did your work for the purpose of an award. That sort of makes it even nicer when we get to present them. The history of song, of visual art, of paint, of storytelling, of narrative, it goes back and back and back. and you've drawn on those traditions and continued to build on those traditions. You're making sure that the incredible gift that you continue to share with us and share every time we hear those words welcome is something that continues to grow Australia's cultural traditions that become richer year after year after year. So for everybody who is being acknowledged tonight, can I just say thank you for what you do? We're a richer nation for it. We understand our nation better because of what you do. And as a government, I just hope the generosity with which you share your work is, as the years go on, a generosity that is returned to you from the rest of Australia. All the very best.
Here we go, the double act starts. Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name's Wesley Enoch. I'm a Quandamooka man from Minjirrabah, just off the coast of Brisbane. Yes, thank you very much. It's my privilege to stand here and reflect on the profound impact of First Nations artists and the effect we are having across the arts landscape. A big heartfelt thank you to our Minister, Tony Burke, but also I just want to acknowledge also the CEO, Adrian Collette, and the Chair of Creative Australia, Robert Morgan, who's also in the audience today. They give great support and great allyship to the task ahead of us.
Thank you, Wesley. It's really a wonderful thing to be tap dancing tonight with you through this wonderful event. I'm Larissa Berrant. I'm a Yuwalarai Gamilaroi woman, and with Wesley I'd also like to acknowledge all of the many nations that are represented in the room tonight, and thank you for what you do in terms of your creativity and your storytelling that help keep our culture strong. And with Wesley, I would like to also acknowledge the warriors who've gone before, and particularly those who we recently lost, including Francis Peters-Little and Destiny Deacon. The leadership that we have at Creative Australia isn't possible unless we had people like Francesca Cabillo leading the way and playing a critical role in our journey. So thank you, Francesca, for your visionary guidance that ensures that our culture is celebrated and nurtured, and it has been a delight to serve with you alongside you and I as chair of the First Nations Arts and Culture Strategy Panel.
We're also grateful for Uncle Alan Madden. I mean, I think his Welcome to Countries will go into a museum somewhere very soon. Because great humour. I joked with him before, I said, your humour's so dry, Uncle, you make me chafe. But his generosity and his ongoing welcomes to the country are legendary. His words remind us of the deep connections we have to our waterways, our sky and our land, and how we share this land together, our ancient stories, and continue to inspire and educate.
Well, if that joke turns up in his Welcome to Country, we know who to blame, Wesley. I'm going to stick to the script now. Okay. And to the reason that we're actually here tonight, which is the First Nations Arts and Culture Awards. And first, it's my pleasure to give you a little background. They gave me the history lesson because I'm the professor, right? Well, you're a professor too, but you know, clearly, yeah, I'm a distinguished professor. So I'd like to give you a little bit of a background to the very important awards that we're going to be looking at tonight. First of all, the annual National Indigenous Arts Awards were established by the Australia Council in 2007 and held on the 27th of May, as they do every year on that anniversary of the 1967 referendum. Now at Creative Australia, they're known as the First Nations Arts and Culture Awards, and these awards fall into 4 categories. The First Nations Emerging Career Development Award, which supports 2 artists or arts workers to pursue their professional development in all disciplines, including dance, cross-discipline arts, literature, poetry, visual arts, theatre, music and community arts. Some previous recipients were Dean Brady and Brodie Murray. The Dreaming Award, which supports 2 inspirational young First Nations artists aged between 18 and 30 years to create a major body of work through mentoring and partnerships. Some previous recipients have been Phoebe Grainer and Jazz Money. The First Nations Arts Fellowship, which supports an outstanding established artist and arts workers' activities and professional development for a period of up to 2 years. Previous recipients have been Delene Briscoe and Dr. Peter Clancy. And of course, our Red Ochre Award, which pays tribute to 2 senior Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander artists for their outstanding lifetime achievement in the arts and their contribution to the recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander arts, culture and community, both nationally and internationally. Previous recipients have been Uncle Bob Wetherill and Aunty Sandra Hill.
Thank you, Larissa. What's amazing that these artists have been recipients of these awards. And speaking of artists, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible craft that has gone into tonight's awards, created by the skilled senior artists at Ernabella Arts. Each award is a testament to the intricate artistry that dwells within the grounded connections of these fine craftspeople. Let's share a short video to introduce the artists and their beautiful awards, these ceramic pieces that they've created tonight for the awards recipients.
The First Nations Arts and Culture Awards have been created by Ernabella Arts Incorporated. Established in 1948, Ernabella Arts is Australia's oldest, continuously running arts centre. Ernabella Arts is in Pukacha community at the eastern end of the Musgrave Ranges in the far northwest of South Australia. Ernabella Arts is an Aboriginal owned and run corporation which promotes and supports ethical practice in the creation and sale of Aboriginal art. Ernabella Arts is a place where the community comes together to practice and develop their art to sustain, support and promote culture, and to improve the lifestyle, health and well-being of its members. The Ceramic Awards were created by Alison Meleika Carroll, Red Ochre Awards, Jack Rupert, First Nations Fellowship, Marissa Thompson, Dreaming Awards, Lungaliki Lewis, First Nations Emerging Career Development. The Ernabella artists would like to congratulate the First Nations Arts and Culture recipients and wish them all the best in their future endeavours.
A big thank you to Ernabella Arts. Now, what you've all been waiting for. Let's proceed to the heart of tonight's ceremony, the First Nations Arts and Culture Awards.
And we're going to begin with the First Nations Emerging Career Development Awards, celebrating young visionaries in our community. This award was established in 2019 through the generous contributions of Creative Australia's Workplace Giving Scheme. It is 2 awards of $10,000 that are given to First Nations artists or arts workers between 18 and 30 years of age to fund their professional development. This multi-art form opportunity is available to artists practicing in community arts and cultural development, dance, experimental arts, literature, multi-arts, music theatre and or visual arts.
Creative Australia's CEO, Adrian Collette, and First Nations Executive Director, Francesca Cabillo, will be taking turns in presenting these trophies tonight. And our first winner for the Emerging Career Development Award is Sarah Prestwidge.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 First Nations Emerging Career Development Award to Sarah Prestwidge. Sarah is a descendant of the Boorooberongal and Gunner clans of the Darug Nation. Sarah is a highly accomplished soprano, having earned a Bachelor of Music degree from the Sydney Conservatorium of Music and a Master of Opera degree from the Royal Northern College of Music in England, where she received a full scholarship. Sarah has received numerous awards for her outstanding work in the field of music. Sarah has excelled as both a soprano and music educator under the guidance of Deborah Cheetham Frayon at Short Black Opera. She has extensive operatic repertoire, including performances of roles in operas such as the world premiere of Itch at Opera Holland Park, Die Fledermaus, La Nozze de Figaro, The Barber of Seville, The Cunning Little Vixen, Flight, The Magic Flute, Ariadne of Noxus, and Der Schauspiel Director. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 First Nations Emerging Career Development Award recipient, Sarah Prestwidge.
Thank you. Before I speak in Darug Dalang, I want to acknowledge the Gadigal people whose land that we gather upon today. Warrgamay, Bujadi Nawunya, Walamabami. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today and I hope that you've travelled here safely. I am deeply honoured and humbled to accept this award from Creative Australia. This recognition not only affirms my dedication and passion for opera, but also honours the stories and traditions of our ancestors that I strive to share through music. Recently, I performed the title role in Deborah Cheetham Freyon's opera Pawang Lifts the Sky in Ballarat on Warrgamay country. This was a Warrgamay creation story, so it was an incredibly moving and important moment that reinforced my commitment to sharing our rich cultural heritage. Music has the transformative power to transcend boundaries, connect people across cultures and generations, and touch hearts in a profound way. As an opera singer with 65,000 years of Yarramundi behind me, storytelling is in my blood. I'm driven by the desire to share the rich tapestry of First Nations stories and reaching communities that might otherwise never experience this art form. I hope to inspire young First Nation singers to see that achieving their dreams is possible. My journey from a small rural town in Australia to the stages of the UK, hence the slight British accent, everyone. This journey has been filled with challenges and triumphs. The warmth and support from those I've worked with have been instrumental in my growth, and I'm committed to continuing this path with the same spirit and collaboration that I have shown. I am grateful to Creative Australia for this incredible honour. This award fuels my ambition and strengthens my desire to represent our culture with pride and authenticity on the world stage. Thank you for believing in my dream and for supporting me in such a meaningful way. Didgeridoo, thank you.
That's right. I told you we'd be doing a dancing thing. And the second Emerging Career Development Award goes to Tibian Wyles.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 First Nations Emerging Career Development Award to Tibian Wyles. Tibian is a descendant from the Warrgamay, and Kalkadoon tribes from North Queensland. Tibian is a rising star in the acting industry. He holds a graduate diploma and an advanced diploma in acting from the Aboriginal Centre for the Performing Arts in Brisbane. Tibian's talent is undeniable, and his performances have left audiences captivated. Tibian made his debut appearance in Black Diggers at the 2014 Sydney Festival, written by Tom Wright and directed by Wesley Enoch. Since then, Tibian has also appeared in Queen City, The Man with the Iron Neck, Country Song, Hide the Dog, The Sapphires, and Big Name No Blankets. Last year, Tibian starred in the 2023 Australian tour of the Sunshine Club as Dave Daylight, directed and written by Wesley Enoch, and this year starred in 37, presented by Melbourne Theatre Company and Queensland Theatre, directed by Isaac Drendich and written by Nathan Maynard. Tibian's latest project, Dear Brother, is co-written by himself and Leonard Donoghue and directed by Isaac Drendich. It will be presented by Queensland Theatre and co-presented with Black Dance as part of Brisbane Festival 2024. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 First Nations Emerging Career Development Award recipient, Tibian Wyles.
Thank you. Sorry guys, I'm a bit nervous. You'd think I'm not being an actor, but I don't usually go do stuff like this. Not because I didn't want to, but but anyways, yeah, my name's Tibian Wyles. As I say, I'm a Warrgamay man from far north Queensland, just outside of Ingham. But I grew up in Townsville, and I've got connections on my grandmother's side through Hopevale, and also through the missions that were up there with Palm Island, and then my grandmother got moved down through Cherbourg. So you know that song line goes all the way along the coastline. All the way through there. So, but now I'm in Meanjin at the moment. I'm in Brisbane. Before I do anything, I want to also acknowledge the traditional custodians. I had the pleasure of living on Gadigal land for about a year throughout my career, trying to make it down here. But yeah, so I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people for allowing me to stay here on these lands and tell stories, tell my stories as well. What else did I say? So I just wanted to say a little thing about Dear Brother. So Dear Brother was a collection of people. Is one of the reasons probably why I'm here is myself and Leonard Donahue, who was the other writer on Dear Brother. Dear Brother is simply just about brotherhood, family, identity, cultural responsibilities, and also, you know, the overall show speaks about what it is to be a black man in today's society, both young and old. I think, you know, we've lost a lot of brothers in the couple of years that's thing, and I just think, you know, it's played a big part of me that I need to tell a bit of that story and, you know, and talk about a lot of the fun stuff, all the fun times and the happy times, as well as the sad, you know. And yeah, so in saying all that, I'd like to also thank Queensland Theatre, and also thank Black Dance, but also Creative Australia and the team as well for supporting us and to tell this story, because I think it is an important story that needs to be told and needs to be heard from all of Australia. And also, last thank you is, I want to thank Wesley as well, as you probably don't know, but yeah, Wesley gave me my first job, and you know, yeah, so I just want to thank him, but thank you all as well, and thank you. Have a good night.
Still directing.
Thank you, Tibian, for that wonderful speech. Now, to add a special touch to tonight's celebrations, we'd like to invite Sarah Prestwidge back to the stage to tantalise us with a sample of her amazing vocal talents.
Thank you, Sarah. Oh my goodness. I was just watching your body kind of shifting and changing to get all those notes. Amazing. So amazing to watch and to listen. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, give her a round of applause. And congratulations on your award, and also Tibian, well done. Now, it's not a stitch up. Tibian won that award. I did not do anything to do that. Just saying up front. So well done to both of you. It's such a great thing to see. And such a great thing to hear a baby in the audience. Can I just say how our community embraces that, and we love you for it. So bring that baby in, let it sound its love for us, because it says something about the breeding program at work. As we continue to celebrate tonight the excellence, we now turn our attention to the Dreaming Awards. The Dreaming Awards were established in 2012 to support an inspirational young First Nations artist aged between 18 and 30 years of age, to create a major body of work through mentoring and partnerships. The mentor partner will be another established professional artist or a partner nominated by the artist who will guide and mentor the applicant to assist in the development of a new work. The Dreaming Awards in 2022 were then expanded to make sure there are 2 awards. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the recipient of the first Dreaming Award is Meleika Gesa.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 Dreaming Award to Meleika Gesa. Meleika is an Indigenous, Pasifika and West Asian writer with proud Torres Strait Islander connections to the tribes of Mer Island, Queensland, Zagareb and Doyareb, and Tongan connections to the village of Fahifa in Tonga. Meleika's writing journey began in 2018 when they made their debut as a writer and poet at the National Young Writers Festival, and in 2019 they were invited back and became the youngest recipient and the first Torres Strait Islander and Tongan person to be accepted into the Next Chapter program at the Wheeler Centre. As a sovereign storyteller, Meleika showcases their creativity by performing poetry, writing criticism, breathing life into worlds, and decolonising spaces both online and in real life. Their work has been published in various literary journals such as Firefront UQP, The Spin-Off, Radio NZ, Nerdy POC, DJ Press, The Big Issue, Overland, and Endless Yarning. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 Dreaming Award recipient, Meleika Gesa.
I'm so ashamed. I thought I just had to send in headshots. I didn't know everyone's going to look at it. But you can continue looking. Sorry. I'm a bit nervous. You can't tell, can you? Just too gorgeous tonight. You know how Brisbane Black's got to do it. I want to thank Uncle for the welcome, first of all. And thank you to the Gadigal peoples for having me the last 2 days and nourishing me whilst I've been here. Debeki, Malolele, again, my name is Meleika. I do want to thank a lot of people, so bear with me because they're all very important. I want to thank my gorgeous mother who's here tonight, and my father. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. I also want to thank my mums and dads, or my aunties and uncles, for putting up with me, because it was really, really hard to have a wild child with an afro running around the island, run around Brisbane, run around Western Sydney to look after. So I want to thank them as well. I want to thank my grandmothers, Sydney Nan and Nan, who are no longer here with us. My beautiful matriarchs who made sure and instilled the beautiful Tongan Torres Strait Islander lessons, proverbs, morals and values into my soul, into the way that I talk, into the way that I am. I also want to thank my gorgeous papa, Sigar Pasi, who's a renowned Torres Strait Islander artist who I learned so much from through his storytelling, through acrylic paint. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous medium, which I also dabble in. so I'm multi-talented. Sorry, just reminded everyone. And I really am grateful to have learnt so much from him through his sweet demeanour. I also want to thank my ancestors, because I wouldn't be as deadly, as gorgeous, as talented, as, you know, all the best verbs, adjectives, without them. I am such a high believer in ensuring that as an Indigenous person, my ancestors' stories continue to live on, so our people can continue to live on. And so through this poetry collection that I hope to finish with this funding, I will be able to tell the stories of my home, which has been affected by climate change. So yeah, thank you all so much. I don't know what else to say, but you can look a little bit longer. And I guess that's my time.
And it's a hard act to follow, Wesley, isn't it? I'm feeling a little unglamorous now. Our second Dreaming Award goes to Dean Brady.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 Dreaming Award to Dean Brady. Dean is a proud Gugu Yalanji, Birri-Gubba, Matabella, Zimbabwean man born and raised on the traditional lands of the Meanjin people of Brisbane, Queensland. Dean's debut as an artist and performer came in 2013 during the Australia's Got Talent Grand Finale, where he impressed audiences and judges alike. Since then, Dean has performed at many events, including Big Sound in 2022 and 2023, as well as the National Indigenous Music Awards, Association of Artist Manager Awards, and South by Southwest Sydney. Over the previous 2 years, Dean has written over 30 songs and collaborated with several musicians, including Matt Corby, Jerome and Jacob Farah, Pip Norman, Rob Amoruso, Emma Louise, and Dean Tutsa. Dean's R&B debut single, Falling, released earlier this year, has already garnered over 1 million streams. Dean was the recipient of the First Nation Emerging Career Development Award in 2023. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 Dreaming Award recipient, Dean Brady.
Man, it sounds so awesome when you hear it like that. First of all, just a little disclaimer, I'm horrible at public speaking. So just bear with me a little bit. First of all, I'd just like to thank Creative Australia for having me and providing me the opportunity to continue writing music and continue doing the thing that I love, and that's creating and making this music with people that I love. And that's one of the biggest parts that's been like maybe the hardest part about being in the industry is typically funding. But this is going to be a thing that hopefully puts us in the right direction. I'd also like to just thank my family, honestly. My father, we've been through a lot of stuff the past couple of years, and my dad has just been a rock, just an absolute rock for me. And he's really helped me and shown me how strong you can be through tough times, and him as a strong black fella and him staying on the train of making music and being productive and just being a good role model and father to me. I just want to put it out there that Troy Junga G. Brady is the strongest man. I also just want to thank my team for dealing with me, because when I'm not being super shy in front of people, I'm typically a lot to deal with. But I'm gonna keep this like nice, short and sweet. And there's so many things coming through, so I'm gonna let my music do the talking, and hopefully you guys can see my work prevail in the next couple years. Thank you.
You know that's the one they'll use now, don't you? Yeah. Oh, all right, excellent. Thank you very much. Congratulations again, Dean. One more. Where? I thought they kept going. Okay, now we now turn to our attention to the First Nations Fellowship. Now, Creative Australia Fellowships are about $80,000 to support an outstanding established artist and arts worker for their activity and professional development for a period of 1 to 2 years.
And we're very proud to present the First Nations Fellowship to Brenda Gifford.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the First Nations Fellowship to Brenda Gifford. Brenda is a proud Yuin woman from Wreck Bay, ACT. She is an accomplished saxophonist, pianist, and a trailblazing composer in contemporary classical and jazz music. A graduate of the Sydney University, Brenda's musical journey has been punctuated by significant residencies, including the prestigious 2022 Peggy Glanville Hicks Composer in Residence program. Brenda's impact reverberates through her 20 original compositions performed by esteemed groups like the Sydney Dance Company, Melbourne Jazz Festival, and the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. Her music is not just notes, it is a profound reflection of her country and culture. Please join us in congratulating Brenda Gifford.
Hello. A bit nervous, so I'm just going to try and be quick. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Creative Australia for this great opportunity. I want to thank my mum and dad and family. Haven't got my glasses on. Mum, dad and family. Oh yeah, and I want to thank a bloke I used to perform with, Bart Willoughby, and his music. We have survived. And then Amaya, Chris Sainsbury, who started the first Narrabri First Peoples composing course, which I didn't. That's when I realised I could compose, because prior to that I was a horn player and a jazz piano player. Then I'd like to thank the following people: Lisa Lim, who put me through my masters at Sydney Uni and was just there 100%. Ensemble Offspring and Claire Edwards. I want to say thank you to the Australian art music sector that's just been so supportive on this journey of composing. Yeah, and I forgot to say Muglin, Lillian and Muglin Theatre, and also other Aboriginal composers, and especially Aboriginal women composers, because A, there's not a lot of us, and B, you know, kind of like Aboriginal composers actually getting up there and writing for orchestras and chamber ensembles. For so long we haven't had access to that. So it's so important to have people like myself in the sector. I'm calling it art music, contemporary classical as opposed to traditional classical. And it's just really important for us to tell our stories, blackfellow composers telling our stories through composition and music and sharing them with the world. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
great. It's so great just having these kind of moments of celebrating us and our amazing, talented people, isn't it, Larissa?
I feel like we've got to lift our game, Wesley.
Well, I think the idea of watching younger people and talented people go off and do things, it just fills my heart.
It does.
Inspires me too.
It's been amazing.
As we celebrate the achievements tonight, it's important to note that we also have such a strong cohort of First Nations creatives who have been the recipients of the Creative Australia Awards as well. Through our friends at the ABC, we've put together a little video reel featuring some of these amazing winners.
I feel like I am able to communicate very deep things without even speaking. Some people are just born to want to push that to the extreme, and I think that's where dancers come in. To win an award for my contribution to dance is quite special, and to be acknowledged by those that I regard as dancers, I feel really honoured.
Find the people who are into what you're doing. That's kind of everything. Everything else stems from there. That's how I got here. I'm a storyteller, I've been a producer, I'm an artist. Winning the Kirk Robson Award is a huge career moment. It is motivation to keep doing what I'm doing, but better.
Music is my way of understanding the world I live in and giving meaning to it. It's a privilege, a responsibility to do that to the best of my ability every single day. I was completely blown away when I was told that I was receiving the Don Banks Music Award.
I feel deeply honoured and really humbled to receive this award as lifetime achievement in literature. I had no interest in writing as a young woman, but what these elders were teaching me, these senior people in our world, was how to listen. I like to write with the sound of music, and it's something that we say a lot in country. We're of one heartbeat, and the heartbeat is the pulse of the country. But I also want to say I'm not finished yet. I've got a lot more writing to come.
Next, we honour the profound contributions and lifelong dedication of our esteemed artists with the Red Ochre Awards. These awards are a cornerstone of our ceremony, highlighting the impact of artists who have shaped our cultural landscape over the life of their illustrious careers. The prestigious Red Ochre Awards was established by the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Arts Board in 1993 to pay tribute to senior Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander people for their outstanding lifetime achievement in the arts and their contribution to the recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander arts, culture and community, both nationally and internationally. Since 2013, the Red Ochre Award has celebrated the recognition of both an outstanding senior male artist and an outstanding senior female artist. Please join us to present these awards, Adrian and Francesca.
It is my great honour to announce the Red Ochre Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mabel Juli, a true icon in our artistic community. Unfortunately, Aunty Mabel couldn't join us tonight, and so she sent through a little of her introduction. After our introduction, we'll hear a little from her in her community about her receiving the Red Ochre Award.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 female recipient of the Red Ochre Award for Lifetime Achievement to Mabel Juli. Aunty Mabel is a proud Gidjar woman, born in 1932 at 5 Mile near Moola Station in the East Kimberley region of Western Australia. Aunty Mabel is a celebrated artist whose journey began in the 1980s when she was encouraged by the likes of Rover Thomas and Queenie Mackenzie. Her striking black and white paintings of Garnkinny Doo Wardle meaning moon and star, a Nagarangani, meaning dreaming story, passed down from her parents, are well known. Throughout her career, Mabel has been featured in over 100 group shows, as well as several solo shows. She has been a finalist in the Telstra National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Awards 8 times since 1994. In addition to her artistry, Aunty Mabel is a strong law and culture woman, an important ceremonial singer and dancer, and her traditional name is Wirangoon. Her art has been included in the collections of the art galleries of South Australia and New South Wales, Art Bank, Auckland Art Gallery, Burnt Museum, National Gallery of Victoria, University of Western Australia, Parliament of Western Australia Art Collection, and the National Gallery of Australia. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 Red Ochre Award female recipient, Aunty Mabel Juli.
Jarak laul wadora buro nyon nana. They ask you why you do bad painting. I don't want my country. Makan badam. My country. That's what my auntie, Queenie told me to do, man. Learn me to do painting when I was young. You might win something. He told me that. You want to do painting? Yeah, he told me to do painting. No? But I was out painting. They would learn me the first, wasn't it? Darwin. I learned. All Yaman will learn me there, Darwin. I would do painting there. Me and my brother, we would do painting there. And we got the painting there. Hanging up. Ama boro na mam berat ka number yela na boro. An bongo na tam ka. Pemberam holon mo. Why ni ab? What happened but I had bongo. Yeah, I mean that's your story and everything. And painting, you cannot play you, I gotta keep them. Yeah. For you. Yeah, I do painting all the time. I never stop painting. I never left the job. I still painting. I wanted to go stop the old people of Canada, the picture now. Somebody come and tell me, oh, you gotta go back to your art. I want you to go back to gallery. That's what they told me. We gotta come back, and I'm still here. To work everywhere. Yeah. I start painting the Darwin, and I come back here. We do painting. Aunty Queenie told us to painting. The Queen the Perth, Sydney, everywhere. And I'm here today, still painting. But I didn't know I would win, and I would know that. And I thank Kalkadoon. Kalau now tamalar na menangal. Yang mana? Yeah, tamalar na menangal. Yeah. I thank you too. Thank you too. Manyaman. Yeah. I'm do painting there. That's all I can say. When Janida. Huh? Nyon ngarin nana. Nginji nyay. When Janida. Nawarang biri. Why balom? Why? Wala ngoray bongongo. Erin ngongo yo. Param. Tangare jana mananda. Wanaran ngongo. Ya, nganang kaka. Pono ngarin nanne dam nganbo. Parama marak jona mana. Wanaran. Nanne nanda nganang kay. Marana. Ngan jane rirena. Elgoro jena. Yeah, tama boro. Nginji na sama. Yung kanya ginagada-gada.
Well, it's so wonderful. So wonderful to be celebrating Aunty Mabel, and I'm sure she will be delighted to be watching this from her home country. Now, I'm a bit excited now, Wesley, about this, because continuing our celebration of lifetime achievements, I'm so proud to present the second Red Ochre Award to the extraordinary visual artist and cultural ambassador, William Badger Bates.
It is Creative Australia's honour to present the 2024 male recipient of the Red Ochre Award for Lifetime Achievement, William Brian Badger Bates. Uncle Badger is a proud Barkindji man born in 1947 along the Barker, Darling River in Wilcannia, New South Wales. Uncle Badger grew up in tin huts along the Barker with his Kurnu Barkindji, his extended family and grandmother, Granny Moisey, who taught him their language, history and culture. Uncle Badger's art journey began at 8 years old when his grandmother taught him to carve emu eggs. Badger is a full-time artist, cultural heritage consultant and environmental activist. He works within the media of lino cut printing, emu egg carving, wooden sculptures, stone sculptures, mosaic and metalwork. His art shows his connection to country and the complex relationships between people, country and water. He mixes the traditional and contemporary to create a style that portrays a strong sense of identity and is an extension of a living oral tradition. He is well known for his public art, such as the sandstone Stolen Generations Memorial at Yandalora, Mount Annan Botanic Gardens, Paul Ramsey Foundation Building, hand-forged steel gates with Everleigh Works and painted ceiling, Darlinghurst mosaic seats, sandstone sculptures at Barradine, sculptures in the Scrub, and sandstone sculpture at the Mildura Riverfront. Uncle Badger's impactful career has graced galleries nationwide, with recent exhibitions at the Art Gallery of South Australia, Biennale of Sydney Rivas 2022, and the Australian Museum's Barker, the Forgotten River in 2023. Please join us in congratulating the 2024 Red Ochre Award male recipient, Uncle Badger Bates.
Well, I don't know where to start. I'm frightened. First up, I'd like to thank the Gadigal people for letting me and my people come to their country. We do wander in from the bush sometimes, and we come down and wander around and we go home. I'd like it, and we really appreciate that. I got a bit of a speech, I'll try and read it. Ngai Barker Wimbidja Wilcannia. Hello, I'm a Barkindji Wimbidja from Wilcannia on the Barker or Darling River. First, I would like to thank the Creative Australia and my nominees for making this happen. I am very pleased to sorry, I can't get it. The award, the Red Ochre Award, it is big for me. I am overwhelmed. I'd like to give all my people a big shout out for supporting me, and hope that this award shows the young ones that they can succeed. We don't get much media coverage out west, the real west that is. I hope this gives a positive vibe. I would like to thank my grandmother who taught me to carve emu eggs and wood when I was 8-year-old. She taught me the language and Barkindji stories. I would also like to thank my old aunties and uncles who taught me a lot about carving. All this was the foundation of my art practice. I would not be here today without the help of so many colleagues that I can't list them all. My old friend Bill Hudson would be so pleased to see me now. He was the one who started me on carving lino. I would like to give a special mention to Nicky Cumston, Jonathan Jones, Blake Griffiths, Tara Gullion, Idris Murphy, Ruby Davies, Jodie Daly, Pascal, Julia and Jose from the 2022 Biennale. Also Laura McBride and Courtney Marsh, Remy Ferguson, Bunda Maram, Monica McInerney and the Mildura Art Gallery and staff. and the team I am working with today, Barbara Flynn, Matt Newborn, Gabe, sorry Gabe, I can't say your last name. Also a very special mention and a big thank you to my partner Sarah Martin. There are many more, but thanks everyone from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Badger. How fantastic. Congratulations. Give him another round of applause. You can't see his face. He just sat down and just went, oh, that's done. Too deadly, too deadly. A part of tonight's celebrations, we would like to acknowledge Creative Australia's First Nations Arts and Cultural Strategy panel. The members who have been an integral part of the assessment of these awards. Can I just ask those panel members please to come up onto the stage? This is totally unrehearsed. Come on up. No, don't shame yourself. Come on. Don't. Go. So, of course, the chair of the First Nations Arts and Culture panel, Aunty Larissa Berendt here, Evelyn Araluan, Nadi Simpson, Neil Morris, Troy Casey, and a couple of apologies, Ali Baker and Chadwick Creighton, who couldn't make it, and of course, Janita Harding, who is in sorry business at the moment. You have made these awards happen over the last few years, and this is the first time we've done it face-to-face for almost, 4 years, I think we worked it out. And the sense of still celebrating our community, our artists, what is available to us and what's possible for us. So this is the last time that this group will be meeting, as well as there's a transition undertaking, as Francesca talked about, the establishment of a First Nations Arts and Cultural Board as part of Creative Australia. So I just want to be a big thank you. And please welcome Francesca Cabillo to the stage.
Please join me in welcoming Wesley Enoch to this remarkable group. I've been subbing him a long time. Wesley, of course, was the chair of the First Nation Arts and Culture Strategy panel when I first joined. So more than 50 years, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander leaders have provided guidance to the Australia Council and now Creative Australia. They have informed, guided, supported, and challenged us in terms of national matters of significance to our First Nations arts and culture sector, our elders, our communities, as well as providing remarkable leadership more broadly to the arts and culture. The First Nations Arts and Culture Strategy panel is an extension of the Australia Council's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Arts Board, which was established in 1973. And the strategy panel advises on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander arts and cultural matters and ensures that Creative Australia delivers on its First Nations arts and cultural strategy. The panel is comprised of senior and established arts leaders who have significant influence at both the national and international level. They provide expert advice and help build strategic networks to ensure the cultural continuity of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander arts and culture within an ever-changing environment. It is an honour to recognise the members of our strategy panel and the contributions they have made. Please join me in thanking them.
Thank you, Francesca, and my colleagues on the strategy panel. It's been a privilege to be working with you now. Let's welcome back our Dreaming Award winner for another special moment. Please welcome back to the stage, Dean Brady.
Hello again.
Taste my color, I understand. A stale-faced lover in high demand, blind to others, but I still can't stay undercover. I'll find you again, don't believe me. Don't think that I'm mad what I said. It's always a broken success, sirens and sex again. Oh, don't believe me. I get that it seems so unfair, 'cause I got my heart on the loan. I can't believe it's never enough for me. It gets harder to define your space. Getting sober, no more mistakes. Burn like fire, oh, I still miss your heat. Undercover, I'll follow your lead, don't believe me. Don't think that I'm mad what I said. It's always a broken success, sirens and sex again. Oh, don't believe me. I get that it seems so unfair, 'cause I got my heart on the loan. I can't believe it's never enough for me. I'll find you again. Oh, I'll find you again. Oh, don't believe me. I get that it seems so unfair, 'cause I got my heart on the loan. I can't believe it's never enough for me. Ooh. Thank you.
Tonight, Wesley.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Dean. In fact, I just want to say, 3 minutes early. Well done. There was a whole joke, because every time we brought out the running order, they'd go, oh, you got to keep checking out the timing, do you? And you go, yeah, that's what we do. You go, oh, okay.
We're professionals.
We're professionals here. Which doesn't mean we have 3 minutes now to bust. No, not at all.
We're not singing, that's for sure.
That's for certain.
After that.
But a big thank you to Dean and, of course, all the performers for wonderful performances tonight. And we hope to hear an album, especially those strings. Wasn't it beautiful? Especially in this space, which is kind of built for it as well, I think. Well,
they're laughing with you.
Oh, what gave it away? The Australian Chamber Orchestra. Yes, I think that was it. Aunty Larissa here, who said I had to call her young auntie now. On behalf of Creative Australia, I just want to say a big thank you to you for all of your amazing work, your support of the arts, yes, on this panel, but also chairing organisations, being parts of boards, always making sure that something's possible for us in the future, and adding to your own practice as a writer, as a filmmaker, as a deadly singer. So she's going to lead us out now with a solo.
Oh no, I'm afraid, Wesley, there's an international convention against torture that prevents me from singing. I shall spare you all.
But thank you for making tonight a truly memorable celebration of First Nations arts and culture and, of course, achievements.
Well, I didn't do it alone, Wesley, and nor have I done any of those things you mentioned. And I again would like to acknowledge the panel and Francesca and everyone at Creative Australia who's worked to progress the work that the panel's done. And thank you too, Wesley, for your leadership. I mean, you were the panel chair before me. You are the deputy chair of Creative Australia. That's no small thing. We're the better for having you there. And of course, not only are you in your own right an amazing creative force, a public intellectual, we're already seeing the legacy through some of the recipients tonight of your inclusive work. So thank you, Wesley Enoch. This was unscripted too.
Well, thank you. I will always be your doormat whenever you need one.
You're more of a glamorous handbag.
All right, excellent. All right, we've got to stop this banter.
Sorry, yeah.
Hey, big thank you for joining us here tonight. I know, taking the time out to celebrate First Nations achievements, and especially in the arts, is so fantastic. Your support and presence is just amazing to do all that kind of stuff. Oh, she's pointing to the bit that I didn't let her say.
No, this is actually the scripted bit I was supposed to say, which was, as we draw this inspiring evening to a close, my dear, everyone, let's give a hearty round of applause to all our wonderful winners tonight. And to those winners, can we just say, Wesley and myself, your contribution will light the path for future generations.
Excellent. All right. This is bringing the formalities to a close. We'll have drinks and canapes in the other room, which you came from, the Belgiorno room. So please go down there. But actually, if you received an award or you sit on the First Nations panel, we need to take some photographs. So panelists, please stay with us. And also the winners that are here today, please stay with us and we'll get some of these photos done. But please join your hands together in celebrating the great talent and have a great night. Thank you very much.